Well, right now the verdict is being delivered here at the High Court, the Supreme Court in Bangkok. The process itself takes a little time. There are 7 judges who are sitting here in this building, and one by one they each read out the decision that they have come to after listening to 2 years of evidence in this protracted trial. And it's only when all 7 judges have had their say that a consensus is taken and a verdict is decided upon and announced. So we're waiting for the guilty or the not guilty verdict to be handed down, but the process is now underway. You can probably see around me here, once again, a large number of supporters of Yingluck Shinawatra have turned out here. Not the thousands that we've seen in the past when she used to come and speak to them on her arrival and her departure. As we know, Ms. Shinawatra is absent from these proceedings, and any verdict today will be given in her absence. But nevertheless, people have turned out, perhaps a couple of hundred. They're here, they're waiting to see what verdict is handed down. I guess the consensus is that it may well be a guilty verdict. Clearly, Ms. Shinawatra herself thought there was a very high possibility of that happening, because that would be the reason that she made herself not available here at court. A month ago, when she was due to hear this verdict against her, one of her senior colleagues from her previous government, a commerce minister, also appeared before the same judges in the same court. He was given a sentence of 42 years in prison for corruption over the rice subsidy scheme. Not the same charges, more serious charges, but related charges. So clearly, a lot of people, the whole country is waiting for the decision today. But for those who support Ms. Shinawatra, there is a lot of concern that the verdict will probably go against her.
So just follow up on what you've just mentioned, Martin. If a guilty verdict is given, will the Thai government issue a global hunt for Yingluck Shinawatra?
Well, they say that they're doing that already. They say that they have instituted, they've contacted Interpol, they've contacted various police forces in other countries. What they've said in the last couple of days is that they've identified more clearly the escape route, if you like, that she took. And they say that she was assisted by members of the Thai police. 3 Thai police officers are now arrested for being directly involved in transporting her to the Cambodian border. But there's a lot of speculation that other police officers may well have also been supporting them, and those investigations are continuing. At the time, shortly after Ms. Shinawatra disappeared, it was suggested by both sides, really, by the Thai military government, but also by her political party, Pheu Thai, that she is now in Dubai, where her elder brother Thaksin has been in exile for some 10 years. He himself was a former prime minister of this country, who also fled when he was facing corruption charges. Interestingly, perhaps, the current prime minister of Thailand, who is the former army general who overthrew Ms. Shinawatra's government some 3 years ago, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. Now, he announced yesterday that he said he knows where Ms. Shinawatra is. He said he has his spies around the world, and he says that he's identified her location. He says he won't reveal it until this court here has given its verdict today. But after the verdict has been delivered, Prayut Chan-o-cha says that he will announce to the Thai people exactly where Ms. Shinawatra is. So there's a lot at stake today, and there's a lot to look forward to in the coming hours.
So what's the public reaction so far? If a guilty verdict is given, will this verdict divide the country's political demographic further?
I think whatever the verdict is, it will simply continue the divisions which have already existed in this country for some time, and certainly have been to the fore for the last 7 or 8 years or so. If Ms. Shinawatra is found guilty, then those who believe that she behaved badly, of course, will say that this was the only verdict that could have been reached. But those who support her feel that this is not so much a criminal affair, but is politically motivated. There is a strong body of opinion here in Thailand that certainly the current ruling military government here want to try to end the association with Thai politics of the entire Shinawatra family. Her elder brother, Thaksin Shinawatra, was Prime Minister before her. He was overthrown in a military coup and he had to flee the country. Miss Shinawatra herself ruled for some 3 years before her government was overthrown. She is now facing the prospect of 10 years in prison, so she has left the country. So in many respects, what the military government wanted to achieve, removing the Shinawatras from the political scene here in Thailand, has been achieved by their, if you like, their absence from the country. So regardless of the verdict of the court, they've certainly gone a long way towards achieving what they set out to establish. But of course, a guilty verdict against Ms. Shinawatra sends a clear signal. It means that she can never return to the country, or she faces the prospect of a jail sentence. It causes her endless problems financially, with various bank accounts being frozen. And perhaps finally, and more importantly, it poses a huge problem for future governments when we return to civilian rule here, because clearly this all centres really on help that Ms. Shinawatra's government gave to Thailand's impoverished agricultural workers. And forever in the future, because of the vagaries of the weather and the seasons, those same farmers will want government help. But future governments will be very, very wary of doing anything innovative for fear of falling foul of this kind of legislation and facing this kind of criminal prosecution themselves in the future.